Hey, we made it to week 4 of the ELF, almost a quarter away through the season. And guess what? We got beast mode on the show. All right, special guest interview today on the pregame show. Let's talk about it.
We doing everything they talk about. You know I'm everything a boss about. Not putting work and gotta toss them out. I'm really biting, they just barking out. I'm really riding, they just parking now. His street, what to talk about. See the big H when I'm walking out.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Base Coverage, presented to you by Knoah Teamwear. This is a special show today as we preview week 4 of the ELF. We made it to a quarter away through the season. This week alone has been interesting. We started it off with it being reported we had record-breaking numbers, or the league had record-breaking numbers in the season, you know, in terms of viewers and market share. But one of the downsides that we are hearing this week is that a ton of injuries, a lot of guys out for the season. Raiders running back Logan Morini out for the season. Justin Henson, quarterback for the Panthers, out for the season. Florian Beerbaumer, wide receiver for the Vikings, out for the season as they keep getting hit with injuries in that organization. We got Sebastian Gauthier from the Galaxy out for the season. It's been a crazy week. Obviously, this is part of the game. Nothing that we enjoy, but, you know, it's the next man up mentality. I wish those guys nothing but the best and good health as they go through their recovery. So today on the show, we're going to preview, obviously, the games. We have our special guest picker, who we'll be going to get to, and I'll announce it later in the show. And then let's get right into it. We have our interview with the beast mode of the league, running back Glenn Tunga, leading rusher of the ELF. He's going to join us right after this quick word from Knoah Teamwear. Welcome back, everyone. Right now, I have one of my special guests this week. He's a beast in the league right now, leading rusher in the league. You know, he had a great game last week versus the Kings. We got running back from the Hamburg Sea Devils, Glenn Tunga. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, we were just chopping this up a little bit before the show. You know, what are your thoughts about playing in the ELF so far?
It's lit, like, especially having played the GFL. Having played the GFL, having played in Poland, I definitely say, like, it's definitely, like, a level above. Competition's good, team is professional, you know, team looks after us. Definitely one of, like, my best experiences as an import so far. Yeah,
it's I'm hearing that a lot in terms of you know the hype, the media. It's all living up to the expectations, which is good to hear. And obviously having someone who's played in some other big leagues and being able to play in this one, which is probably the biggest and is going to continue to grow, really says a lot about the league. So a lot of people get to know kind of like who you are as a player. All right, so if any, what running back or what type of running style do you mimic your game after? Obviously, people see the dark visor, people see the dreads. automatically people think beast mode, which there's some similar traits. But for you personally, like, do you model your running style after someone, or do you just try to be your certain type of back?
So, like, funny enough, before every game, I always watch a certain running back, like, highlights, and it always happens to be either AP or beast mode. I just like watching them play. I like how they play. They play physical. I used to watch Saquon, but I realized that, like, I didn't have that, like, same level of athleticism. And he's just a bit wild, but I feel like beast mode and AP are definitely guys that I like to watch. Definitely guys that, like, I enjoy watching, and, like, I guess I want my running style to mimic.
Yeah, man, you're a hard-nosed 3-down back. And, if we're talking about, like, the NFL or just the game in general, it seems like the game was kind of getting away towards the old-fashioned 3-down back, but you're a dude that loves contact, runs through contact, and obviously that's displayed week in and week out. So that's why it's intriguing and fun to watch it. But hey, you guys are off to a good start. You're 2-1 on the season, 2-0 in the conference, right?
Yeah. That's good, yeah.
What do you guys have to do? What do you guys have to do this week in order to get to 3-1 after week 4?
I think the main thing is just win. Like, our head coach always talks about, it doesn't matter how we win, whether we run or we pass. The main thing is win. Like, winning ain't easy.
Yeah.
So the main thing, even if it's a hard one, we'll take that. So, we expect Poland to come and, like, bring their best. They're the only team in Poland too, so they're representing Poland. They have the best talent from Poland. So I think the main thing is if we can establish our run to start off with, as everyone would expect, and then that will open up our passing game, and we can hopefully surprise them with some good stuff.
Yeah, that offense, for all intents and purposes, that offense kind of runs through you a little bit. Obviously, Cisse can use his legs a little bit. The passing game hasn't really gotten off yet. We're only a couple weeks in. I'm sure that's going to improve, especially with the new coordinator trying to find ways to maybe take a load off you. Mm-hmm. But it's gonna be fun to watch the development of Cisse and the development of the offense. Because we're about a quarter of the way through the season. There's still a lot of ball left. So we'll see what happens.
I think that's the main thing. Like, a lot of people, I guess, are assuming that we're going to be a running team, but we have 2 A's and we have a quarterback that can throw. So it's like, I feel like our offense at what we've displayed at the moment isn't, I guess, the same offense that you might see at the back end of the season. I feel like we're going to become a lot more balanced, than people think. People assume that we're just going to run the ball, which we wouldn't bring in 2 A's just to run the ball. So I feel like it'll definitely be, like, fun for people to, like, see, like, our passing game and what we've been working on.
Yeah, it's definitely something I'm intrigued about, see the development and see. Obviously, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So obviously you got to do what you got to do to win.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be fun to see how the offense continues to develop. Hey, this last weekend. Now, when I think about the Leipzig Kings defense, right? I think about AJ Wentland, Mike Tavares, JP Bombay, Lance Leon, Oslin Zettenberg. Like, I think about a front seven who is brutal to play against, and I would think that for a running back, probably not going to have, the best day. But here comes Glenn Tunga in the offensive line, against the Kings, put up 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, and literally, ran through those boys. Obviously, it was a long day. There's more that goes into it. But literally that game, you guys imposed your will on the Kings defense. What was that the game plan to go in there and establish the run?
No.
What was the game plan going into that game?
The game plan was definitely to pass. Like, I feel like everyone, including us, you see Leipzig Kings, their box is built to stop the run. So, like, even I knew, okay, I might get a few touches, but it's going to be a tough game, especially having played against AJ and a lot of those guys when I was at Dresden. I knew, okay, this might not be my best game, but, I'm going to do what I can. I feel like it just worked. Like, we started running. It's like, okay, cool, we can do this. And like you said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I guess we saw that we could run, so we kept running the ball. I guess just a testament to the O-line. They did a really good job. Our play calling was, like, really good. We tried to keep them, like, on their toes a little bit.
Yeah.
I think the dark visor just took over.
the dark visor is like the alter ego.
Yeah, it just took over. Like, people was asking, like, what are you thinking? I don't think anything. I don't even know that guy who's on the field.
Yeah.
Like, when the whistle goes, he just does his thing. I just sit back, dark visor takes over, and
Hey, that Kings defense is still good. Obviously, the thing that's hurting them right now is their offense and their offensive turnovers, and their defense is being on the field longer than they had to. So, for you guys being able to do that, what does that say about the potential of the offense and how it can adapt?
I think it's great because I feel like when a team can run the ball, like, the best thing about that is that you control the clock. So you don't give their offense a chance to get on the field and score points. That puts us in a good position. I also feel like it forces more guys towards the box, especially having 2 A's as well. It's like teams have to now pick, like, cool, do we want to stop the run that's working, or do we want to put more guys in the box and risk having these 2 A's uncovered? So I feel like having a good run game definitely puts us at a good advantage and allows us to, like, I guess, be in control and allows us to dictate, like, what we want to do and what kind of style play we want to do. So,
hey, man, like I mentioned before, you're having a great season, leading rushing so far with 445 yards and 5 touchdowns. This week you have another in-conference opponent. You guys head down to the Rostov to play the Panthers. Now, obviously, they've been bitten by the injury bug a little bit. No fault to you guys. They did just have a pretty strong signing on defense and bringing in safety Jamal White. Listen, if anybody knows about Jamal White, he's coming for all the smoke. Like all
100%.
that man wants to do is hit.
It hit, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm playing against him.
So I mean, it's unfortunate that obviously William Lloyd won't be there, but you know, Jamal's not going to bring in any. He's not going to slack off from the production standpoint. So it's gonna be another fun game to watch because obviously that defense and the potential that it could be going up against your guys' offense. They also got a new quarterback going up against you guys. So this is gonna be an interesting matchup. But just real quick, what are your thoughts on heading into that game to play the Panthers? And to be honest, if you guys win, you guys kind of have like your hands around the throat of the Northern Conference. So does it add a little pressure to what this game possibly could be on Sunday?
I mean, I think there's like a lot on the line, like you said. Like, if we win this, like we're head of the division, but it's still early in the season. I feel like, especially with all the injuries that are happening, a lot of surprises around the league. I feel like anything is still like possible. But like, I guess the important thing for us is just to win any other game, go 1-0. I'm definitely looking forward to playing against Jamal. I love Jamal's playing. I like him talking trash.
Yeah,
like he's physical. So that'll definitely be fun. We've been talking already a little bit. Yeah, because we're good friends. So yeah, we're gonna have fun that game.
Hey, we mentioned it earlier about you being the third down back, kind of like an old school back with that mentality. He's kind of an old school DB.
Yeah,
He's one of those.
I'm like,
it's gonna be. He'll meet you in the hole and square up real quick.
Exactly. I'm like, yo, I want all that smoke. I know he's gonna bring it. So it's definitely gonna be fun to play against him.
Yeah. Hey, it's gonna be a good game, man. I appreciate you coming on. Going to everybody from the Hamburg Sea Devils. You can catch their game versus the Russell Panthers on Sunday. It's definitely gonna be a good game to watch. Definitely gonna be some hard hitting going on too. But hey, I appreciate you coming on, my man.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Most definitely. This won't be the last time we chop it up. I'm sure we'll chat again soon.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's get right into the breakdown. We got a lot of games to get into. First game I want to talk about, the Frankfurt Galaxy traveled to Cologne. This is going to be a fun one to watch for the simple fact Frankfurt's coming off a big win with the return of Jacob Sullivan. Cologne's coming off a close in-conference loss to the Barcelona Dragons, but now they return home. So there's a couple things that factor into this. I want to see how Cologne's able to bounce back. I want to see how they're going to respond after coming off a loss at home to the defending champs Frankfurt Galaxy. Obviously, the Galaxy is not the same team they were last year. They're battling a lot of injuries with losing some key guys. But ultimately, they still have the championship MVP in Jacob Sullivan. So this one is going to be a good one to watch. If I had to pick, I'm going to roll with the Cologne Centurions. I think Cologne is eager to prove that, that they're better and they can overcome a tough loss against Barcelona. I think Jan has a pretty good game against that defense. Ultimately, I'm assuming, if you don't know by now, Quentin Pounds is a dog. So I want to see how Paul Lennart and Louis Geyer step up this weekend. So it's gonna be fun to watch. I'm gonna ride with the Cologne Centurions over the Frankfurt Galaxy for this game. Next game we have on slate, another Saturday slate. The Vienna Vikings travel to Istanbul. We finally get to see the Rams at home for the first time this season as they spent their first 3 games on the road. Rams are frustrating to watch for the simple fact that they could be better than what they are. They scored first in their first 3 games, but never been able to put a full game together. I think this is the week that they become a little better in that aspect of it. The Vikings coming off of a big win against the Surge, even though they started off a little slow. I think they get back on track. Obviously, they had a big loss with losing Florian Beerbaumer for the season, but they still got weapons on that offense that they could utilize. Ultimately, I'm picking the Vikings to win this game. I think the Rams, prove that they're going to play better. Zachary Blair is balling. He's a beast. I feel like I want to see a little more from Tyrese Johnson-Fisher. Obviously he had 2 big fumbles last game against the Fire. Jared Segman has been playing a lot better. But ultimately, I think the Vikings is just a little too much firepower for the Rams this weekend. So I'm gonna pick the Vikings to beat the Rams this weekend. Leipzig Kings going to Berlin. Two teams that are kind of hard to figure out. I'm not even gonna lie to you. The Kings, they should be better than what they are. We know their struggles are on offense with, literally losing games because of turnovers. And I think if they just cut down on that, their defense they had the defense to play with anybody in the league. But they really need to just focus on the offense side. They got two beasts on the outside in Dable Wolf and Shantavius Jones in terms of receiving threats. Javier Carrasco, he's a good running back. Again, got to cut down on the fumbles. And I think Jordan Barlow, I think he's been playing well. I just think little mistakes, obviously turnovers in the red zone or on his part, you're never going to win games like that. The defense, what's killing the defense is that they're on the field longer than they like. And you're going up against a Berlin Thunder with Jock Crawford that's going to want to get physical, that's going to see what Glenn Tunga just put up on them last week and try to replicate that production. So this one's going to be a close game. I'm gonna ride with the Thunder. I'm riding with the Thunder because if I'm being honest, I can't trust the Kings right now. I think the Kings have shown me that they're a good team, but they're a team that's constantly beating themselves. And I think that Joe Germinario and those boys on offense has proved that hey, they can compete with the Raiders. They could compete with putting points up against like the teams like the Sea Devils. So I think they'll be able to score and put points up against the Kings. And ultimately, until the Kings show me otherwise, I don't know if I'll be able to trust them in this game. So I'm going to roll with the Berlin Thunder to beat the Leipzig Kings. Lastly, and we have my favorite game of the week. And I'm sure it's everyone's favorite game of the week, but this one is literally for all the marbles. We have the Barcelona Dragons traveling to Dusseldorf to play the Rhine Fire. Rhine Fire, who just had a record-breaking crowd with almost 8,000 people in the stands last week against the Rams, now have their biggest game of the season against the Dragons for first place in the South. So this game is going to be wild. We have playmakers all across the board. You know, we have two quarterbacks who are going to go head-to-head. Matt Adams proved that he could play ball in the passing game. He actually has probably the top passing rating and leads in passing yards per attempt between all the quarterbacks in the league. Magic, Zach, and Kyle Sweet and those boys are coming in, and they're going to want to prove that, you know, that they are the team to beat in the South. So this one is going to be so much fun to watch. Ultimately, it's, you know, who's going to be able to, you know, play sound football, play complementary football. And I think that's ultimately who's going to win the game. I think Barcelona has a great defense. Obviously, you go up against the Cologne Centurions, you give up 32 in a shootout, but, you know, they still did a lot of good things. The Rhine Fire, when I look at the Rhine Fire, I see the experience from their head coach and their players. I see smart football players. I see physical football players. Omari Williams and Lucas Ross on that defense. You know, those guys are making plays and turning turning turnovers into points. So you're not going to be able to turn the ball over and expect to keep this a close game if you're the Barcelona Dragons, because the Fire are going to make you pay. Man, this game is so intriguing to watch. For this game, I'm going to ride with the Barcelona Dragons. I feel like they're going to roll into Rhine Fire in front of another record-breaking crowd and prove that, hey, you know, we're not the Dragons of old. I think, you know, they have the guys to compete. They have the guys to compete with the Rhine Fire on both sides of the ball. And I think coming off a shootout like they did last week, they're going to be able to look at that game. They're going to be able to learn from that game. And they're going to be able to I think what they want to do is they're going there with the Sea Devils mentality when they played them week 2 and say, hey, you know, we're the team. We're gonna score. We're gonna drive the field, and we're gonna make you play our game. So I think the Barcelona Dragons beat the Rhine Fire, take first place in the South, and we'll see what happens. But it's gonna be an interesting game. Today, our media guest picker, who will be going up against Athletes Forum for the picks this week, we have a special picker for the simple fact that he covers pro football in Switzerland, and he's going to be, and we're going to have him on the show next week to talk a little bit about, you know, the Helvetia cards and what the Switzerland team could possibly be or do next week in the ELF. We have Kim Relini. And his picks are for the Vienna Vikings. He's going to take Vienna Vikings versus the Rams. He's going to take the Vikings. He takes the Centurions over the Galaxy, Sea Devils over the Panthers, Raiders over the Surge, Kings over the Thunder, and he's taking the Rhine Fire over the Dragons. So we are in lockstep except for 2 games. So for us, the Kings Thunders game and the Dragons Fires game means a lot for both of us. So we'll see what happens. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's going to be a fabulous week. We have 2 great games tomorrow. Welcome the Rams to their first home game. That's going to be fun to watch, see the atmosphere down there. Who's going to take over in the South as 2 juggernaut teams go head to head in the Fire and the Dragons. Man, it's going to be a great week. Thank you guys for tuning in. remember, for our picks this week, if I'm able to beat my friend Camerolini in picks, I'm going to be giving out some Knoah Teamwear. I swear I'm doing my best, and we'll see what happens this week. But if I get this win, I'm giving out multiple, because you guys deserve it. Thank you for tuning in again. And this won't be the last time we chop it up.
Hard work, they don't know about